You wanted the devil. Well, you got him.
Hey y'all, American Crusader here. So, Robert Mueller dropped his report on Friday, and unfortunately for those of us, for many people, it basically says there's no evidence of collusion between Fat Donnie Trump and Russia. It does say, however, it doesn't exonerate him, and of course, because it doesn't say there was any evidence of collusion, Fat Donnie's all like, this exonerates me, I'm innocent. I'll be honest, I did sort of had a tiny sliver of hope, just like a tiny sliver of it, that there would be evidence that yes, Trump colluded with Russia. Um, but hey, that's the way the coral crumbles, the cookie crumbles. I grew up watching SpongeBob. Um, but yeah, but hey, that doesn't mean Trump won. It's Robert Mueller specifically say that it does not exonerate him. Two, he does have multiple crimes, including perjury, campaign finance violations, screwing people, uh, human rights violations, and also the emoluments clause. Now, you don't have to be a secular talk subscriber like I am to know that we weren't going to get Trump on treason or collusion. And also, be honest, if you look at his record, Trump has been doing a lot of policies that is anti-Russian interests. Russia yes, I do believe Russia did interfere, and it was more they preferred him over Hillary, but they are going, oi, this fucking idiot. Mushmushka or whatever Russians say, I don't know. The only Russian I know is Do Svidanya, Da, and Yet. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and Bushmoy. It's like, ugh, Bushmoy. Donald Trump is at his bullshit again. And they now regret supporting him. I think they now regret interfering. Although, let me be clear, how would they like it if we had interfered in their March 2018 election and elected the other Vladimir? What is with Russia and having Vladimir Lenin, Vladimir Putin, Vladimir whoever it was that ran against Vladimir Lenin? I know the guy in 2018 that ran against Putin was a guy named Vladimir. And Why the Last Man has a character named Vladimir. Jeez. Anyway, but you do now. You don't have now. I knew we weren't going to get, despite that little slimmer of hope. I knew we weren't going to get him on treason or collusion, but we can get him on other crimes, including, and you have to be and I had to be a subscriber of Secular Talk to know this, emoluments clause, which is where basically bribery by foreign government. Trump gets money from Israel and Saudi Arabia, and I'll be honest, I'm a little bit biased in favor of Israel. I am a Christian Zionist after all, but um, he gets essentially bribed from foreign governments, Saudi Arabia and Israel, and he does things that they that is favorable to the Saudis and Israelis. That is a violation of the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution. I might be saying it wrong. But yeah, that is a crime. Violation of the Constitution. That's bigger. That's more provable than collusion. Yeah, Trump is a bad man. And look, it's a setback, and it's unfortunately it is something that Trump will be like, the Mueller report exonerated me, even though it doesn't. Although he is already saying that. But yeah. Look, this isn't the end of the world. This doesn't assure Trump's victory. People are more and more are turning against him. Although there will be some people, there's nothing he could do. He could literally shoot a man on Fifth Avenue, and they wouldn't turn against him because they put party over country. Either they legit believe in Trump, or they don't care as long as he's a Republican. They don't care. They're putting party over country, or for the worst case scenario, they legit believe in everything. his tax cuts. The guy who people who actually perpetuate some people who have perpetuated trickle down economics are basically saying, okay, it's not doing anything. You know, our GDP hasn't increased by 5% as they were claiming. It's maybe increased by 1% and barely, but tax cuts for the rich don't work. Yeah. But it's not the end of the world. We still, if we can't impeach him, and Nancy Pelosi is, although a part of me thinks that maybe she's only not impeaching Trump to save her own career, because like say she impeached him, and the Democrat controlled House impeaches Trump, which goes to the Senate as per the Constitution, and the partisan hack Republican controlled Senate votes no, we're not going to remove him. And in 2020, because all House Representatives people are elected every 2 years, they're going to go, well, you impeached him, but you didn't remove him from office. Why should we vote for you? In whatever state Nancy Pelosi is from, I don't know. She's basically, I do sometimes think she's predicting her own career, but when you think about it, the elections like next year, and more people turning against him, and more people are coming in favor of our main man Bernie. Yes, I got the book. Best $19 I've ever spent. And I'm loving it. It actually answers some questions. Like I was thinking, why didn't he run for any office in the 70s? Turns out he was. It just turned out it just took till 1981 to actually win an election. Although, and I haven't completed the whole book. Like, why didn't he run for president in 2008? And while I was shaving, I was thinking. I'm thinking about politics while I'm shaving my face, where I got to be careful. Anyway, that back in 2016, the ideas are now mainstream. Finland politely schools Nikki Haley on socialized medicine. New update. Anyway, like Bernie Sanders' ideas, Medicare for all, minimum wage, tuition free college, all those things, they were viewed as fringe, like just like way out there, far left in 2016. Can you imagine how it would have been in 2008? I'm just saying. And besides, it's not like I could do anything. I wasn't old enough to vote in 2008. I was still in high school. Um, can't really. I do remember 2008. I was very not just. I wasn't trusting of Obama or Hillary, and I definitely wasn't voting for McCain. But anyway, back to Trump. This is my ADD at work. We can't get Trump for treason or collusion. That's a given. I knew that. I knew that. Despite the little sliver of hope, I knew that. But what we can get him on, if we can't get him for, even if we can't get him for crimes, we can take him down with, as I mentioned, Bernie Kenobi. Yes. Bernie Sanders, help us, Bernie Kenobi. You're our only hope. We can, if we can't get him for treason, if we can't even get him for financial crimes, we can take him down in the 2020 election. And if he refuses, then he will be arrested no matter what. And Kyle Kalinske and I says this, and I tend to agree that the second Donald Trump goes from President Donald Trump to former President Donald Trump, he will be arrested. As in January 20, January 21st, 2021, or if God has truly abandoned us, January 21st, 2025, he will be arrested. It's him being president that's basically giving him a shield. So, Fat Donnie better enjoy it while it lasts. Because he can't be president for life. He might have, despite the fact that he's talked about it, he will never be president for life. His presidency will have to end before he dies. And I don't want him to die. I want him to face the consequences of his actions for once in his life. This guy has been spoiled, privileged, his whole life. That silver spoon has been lodged up his ass since day one. He was born with a silver spoon up his ass. And it's time that he, for once, knows what it's like to be treated like everybody else. If not while he's president, then after he leaves office, which I hope will be on January 20th, 2021, when Bernie Sanders, becomes our president and actually gives us the change that we need. But in regards to Mueller, don't lose hope. And don't say Mueller should have fixed manufactured evidence to get rid of Trump. It would have been worth it. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Because then he would literally be able to say that was a witch hunt. We should remove him for his crimes that he actually committed. Now there will be some people who will say that not that even if they remove him, convicting him and anything other than treason won't be good enough. It's sort of like let's say a sexual assault victim. They catch the person who sexually assaulted them, but they can only get them on other charges, and the district attorney be like, "Hey, we got him," and the sexual assault victim's like, "No, that's not good enough. I want him convicted for what he did to me." But let's not be that. If we can get him removed from office, okay then. And then we'll have to deal with Mike Pence, who basically is Donald Trump, but with manners. Mike Pence is basically, policy-wise, Donald Trump, but with some couth. He has, Mike Pence has more stable ego. He doesn't go on Twitter fights with people. In fact, when he was vice president elect, some people at theater called him out, and Mike Pence just went, ha ha ha. Oh, I enjoyed the play. I had no hard feelings. While Donald Trump will be like, these people were very unfair to me. They're new president. Yeah. But I want everyone to just don't lose hope. We still have 2020. If we can't impeach him and remove him from office, we got 2020. Bernie Sanders. And who should be Bernie Sanders vice president? Elizabeth Warren or Tulsi Gabbard? I mean, on one hand, Elizabeth Warren, she's done a lot of good. And Tulsi Gabbard, she's got great ideas. She was a veteran. I do have concern for her. She is a Hindu or Hindi. I don't know. I'll just say she's a Hindu. Uh, that's my cat. Um, hold on. Now, what I mean by that is, in 1928, anti-Catholicism is what won Herbert Hoover in 1928 when he ran against the Catholic Al Smith, and there was deeply religious divide about Kennedy being a Catholic, our first Catholic president. This one bigoted Protestant minister said, "Faced with the election of a Catholic, our culture is at stake." And Kennedy had to actually go to Dallas and address a bunch of Protestant ministers who were very biased against him. And there were still people who voted against him because of the whole Catholic thing. Some guy actually tried to kill him to be a suicide bomber because of that, Richard Pavlik. And that whole bullshit about Obama being a Muslim, even though he's a Protestant. He reads scripture off his BlackBerry in the morning. When most people are trying to figure out what time it is and trying to open our eyes, he's reading scripture, and he's quoted scripture in his 2008 DNC speech. I think it was Hebrews. I don't know. But the point is, Tulsi Gabbard, veteran, young, anti-war, and Elizabeth Warren, but she's Hindu. That's her. That's what might hurt her. But Elizabeth Warren, she's experienced, as progressive as Bernie, although drawback, she still has her foot in the establishment. Not completely, like 5%. I don't know. But anyway, don't want anyone to lose hope. We're still going to get rid of Trump. Even his presidency has to end eventually. I want everyone to stay out there, stay progressive, and as always, may the force be with you.
May the force be with us all.